All right, let's dive deep into a hidden world. I'm talking about a place so small you need a microscope to see it, but it is packed with some of the planet's ultimate survivors. Get ready, because we're about to explore how a single cell can master the art of life itself.
Seriously, think about that for a second. Everything you do right now, eating, moving around, even just breathing, that takes trillions of cells all working together. But what if you had to do all of that with just one? Is that even possible?
It's just wild when you look at it this way, right? We've got trillions of cells, and they're all specialists. We have brain cells, muscle cells, skin cells. But for the organisms we're looking at today, one single cell is the brain, and the stomach, and the legs, all rolled into one. Talk about being the ultimate multitasker.
Okay, so it's time to meet our team of tiny titans. I like to call them the Micro Squad, and trust me, each member is a true master of survival, with its own unique toolkit for making it in the microscopic world.
First up, we have the amoeba. This little guy is famous for its blob-like look and its amazing ability to change shape whenever it wants. It is the ultimate free-form survivor.
Next, say hello to the paramecium. You can see how it gets its nickname, right? It's shaped just like a slipper. And this one is built for speed, zipping through water like a tiny race car.
And here we have the euglena. See that green color? That is a huge clue about its survival strategy. This organism is basically a master navigator, and it's always on the hunt for its power source.
And last but not least, the Volvox. Now this one's a little different. It's not just a single cell living all by itself. It's a whole colony of cells that have teamed up to live and move together in this awesome rolling sphere. Hey, even at this scale, teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay, let's kick things off with our first squad member, the amoeba. We're going to break down exactly how this incredible shapeshifter pulls off all the functions of life with its unique cellular toolkit.
So, here's the big challenge for the amoeba. It's gotta move to find food, and it's gotta eat that food to get energy. Simple enough, right? But it has no legs, no fins, and no mouth. So, how in the world does it solve that problem?
The answer is just so clever. It's called a pseudopod. That word literally means false foot. The amoeba just stretches out a part of its body, lets its insides, this jelly-like stuff called cytoplasm, flow into that little arm, and then it just pulls itself forward. It can make a foot whenever and wherever it needs one.
And get this, it uses the exact same move to eat. A pseudopod stretches out, surrounds a piece of food, and then the cell membrane completely wraps around it. This creates a little bubble inside called a food vacuole, which works like a tiny temporary stomach to digest the meal. How cool is that? Problem solved.
All right, next up to the plate is the paramecium. Our speedy slipper has a totally different set of gadgets for getting around and grabbing a meal. So we just saw how the amoeba kind of oozes around, right? It's slow and steady. The paramecium, though, is all about speed. So what's its secret? How does it pull off that fast, coordinated movement?
Well, the solution is something called cilia. The paramecium is covered in hundreds of these tiny, hair-like things. They all beat back and forth in perfect rhythm, like thousands of tiny oars, pushing it through the water. But wait, there's more. They also do a second job. They create a little current that sweeps food right into a special opening called an oral groove. That's basically its mouth. So, here's the key takeaway. Even though they're both just single cells, the paramecium is actually considered more complex. Think about it. The amoeba can eat from literally any part of its body, but the paramecium has a dedicated spot just for eating, that oral groove. Having specialized structures for specific jobs, well, that's a big step up in complexity.
Okay, now for the last two members of our squad, Euglena and Volvox. These two share an incredible superpower that completely changes the game when it comes to getting energy. They can actually use the power of the sun.
Now, to really get what they're doing, we need to know two key terms. The first is heterotroph. That's an organism that has to hunt for its food, like the amoeba and paramecium. The other is autotroph. An autotroph can make its own food, usually from sunlight, just like a plant.
So let's classify our squad, shall we? The amoeba and paramecium are our hunters. They're heterotrophs. The Volvox colony is a producer. It's an autotroph. But then there's Euglena. This thing is the ultimate survivor. If there's sunlight, it makes its own food. But if it's dark, no problem. It just switches gears and starts hunting other microbes. It can do both.
And all their tools work together perfectly to support this sun-powered lifestyle.
Both Euglena and Volvox use a flagella, that's a long whip-like tail, to move around. And why are they moving? Well, they're using their eye spot to detect light so they can swim towards the sun. Once they're in a sunny spot, their chloroplasts get to work, turning that sunlight into food. It's a perfectly integrated survival system.
So we've met the whole micro squad. After looking at all of them, what's the big idea here? What's the main takeaway from all of this? Let's put it all together.
You know, it really all comes down to one big idea. Structure determines function. The amoeba's flowing pseudopod lets it move and eat. The paramecium's tiny cilia let it zoom around and sweep in food. And the flagella and eye spot help Euglena and Volvox find the sun. Each and every organism has the perfect set of tools it needs to carry out all the functions of life.
And that's really the heart of it. You don't need trillions of cells if your one cell is this perfectly equipped. With the right structures, a single cell has all the tools it needs for total survival.
We've just scratched the surface with these 4 organisms. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In every single drop of pond water, what other amazing survival strategies and incredible secrets are out there, just waiting to be discovered?